Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Thank you, Larry. Coming to you from just off the New Jersey Turnpike in East Rutherford. We are just about set for football on EA Sports from MetLife Stadium. Tonight, we've got an AFC matchup on tap. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29, between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their second-year quarterback, the former Baylor Bear. It's Bryce Petty.
Coming out of Baylor, running that up-tempo spread offense that he ran, he'd have to read a lot of defenses. Teams couldn't play too many against him, so he had to improve that when he got to the NFL. And one of the ways he did it, the Madden video game. He actually sat down with Madden and started to go over defensive fronts and coverages in order to improve.
Here's Matt Forte with his first carry. Oh, look at the juke. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's the kind of start every team wants to have when they touch the football for the first time. Here at night especially, because all day long you've been around the hotel. Yeah, you've had meetings, you've had meals, but you've been chomping at the bit to play. And depending on the time of year you play a game, early in the season, you probably like night games. But as the season goes on, most guys like day games because they all wait around all the time. So taking charge early.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Play clock winding down. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it's third down. And here are the starters offensively, and one of the wideouts, Eric Decker.
Remember when he came out of school, out of Minnesota, and many thought he was nothing more than a number 2 or 3 receiver? He's proven everyone wrong. He's a guy who's a high-volume catcher and a terrific player downfield.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Intentional grounding there, Charles. What did you think?
I thought it was on the borderline. I think the quarterback thought he was outside of the pocket, but he was not. The official nailed the call.
Here's the Jets punter now. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So he shifts past him. 49-yard punt. 5 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by a guy who's been a backup much of his career out of Oregon State. It's Matt Moore.
Matt Moore began as a backup in the NFL, but his first season in Miami, he did start 12 games, so he understands how it's done and what needs to happen on the field. A guy that you love as a career backup, but he can start if necessary.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Moore now. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now Moore. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They run with Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Or I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. They run again with Ajayi. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. He'll look to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll try to run with Ajayi. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When I was playing, all our defensive coaches talked about when you're near your own goal line and you're trying to stop them from getting in, your heart gets tested. What a nice play on the last down.
A lot of heart on 2nd. Do they have the heart on 3rd? Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Cundiff able to knock it through, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but partner, that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, You end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A give. This is Forte. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Petty now. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Boy, a curious decision to go for it doesn't pan out, and the Dolphins get the... So they give it up just on their side of midfield, and yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now it's Ajayi. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This will be caught just inside the 10. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game,
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Cundiff able to knock it through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So 2 first-half field goals now for a guy who, and you hate to give him the tag a journeyman, but it's fair to say, Charles, he's been around in his career.
Yeah, it's more have leg will travel for him. He is a guy that's bounced around a bit, but he can still stroke him when called upon, just as he did right there.
They start on the ground with Forte. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. Forte, the lone running back. Here's Petty. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go. 3-19.
This is Ajayi. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jets take possession. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Now let's go. No. Check. Patriot. Back that up. Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Incomplete. Eric Decker was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
So now it's 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Back to throw here. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jordan Phillips with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Well, they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the great one, Darrelle Revis. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Hey, Leopard! Detroit!
Forte, the lone running back. And he'll get it up the middle. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the 1st. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Over.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
The play clock's running down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Detroit!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, Your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
A beautiful fake. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40.
Okay, let's do our version of name dropping here. Let's show off a little knowledge, right? The A-gap, the gap between the center and the guard on either side, right? Both sides. Control that, you're going to control an inside running game.
And he had to feel satisfied because he hit that gap. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
They come out here in the eye. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 2nd down following the run.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through.
Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And they take a knee. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.